Hey teen girls, we are so excited to be able to share a breakout with you today titled I Know How to Be a Friend.
Yeah.
My name is Brie. I'm a sophomore at Southeastern University, the Ohio Network campus, and I'm studying ministerial leadership with a focus on worship ministry.
What's up? I'm Abby Gray and I go to Kent State University. I'm a junior there and my major is fashion design, and we're so excited to be with you for 2021 Teen Girl Conference.
Whoop whoop! Alright, hey, have any of you had a moment with a friend where you just kind of like locked eyes and you're like, wow, I'm going to be best friends with this person forever?
You've all had this
You
moment.
had to have, right?
With someone.
I mean, listen, me and Abby have had several of these moments, but there's a particular moment that just happened 2 weeks ago that we want to reenact.
It was the best
for
moment
you.
of our entire lives. No
Best
big
moment
deal.
ever. That's fine. Okay, we're sitting on the couch. We're watching the Browns play the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're down by a touchdown. But we know that the Browns have it in them. We have faith, right? We know that if the quarterback from Kansas City throws an interception, we can run it down the field, tie the game up.
Yeah.
We've got this, right? Like, we just know. We know that we can do this.
So it's this slow motion moment, like one of those movie type of moments, okay?
I was like a movie star.
We were inside and all, but I'm pretty sure that the wind was just blowing through our hair.
Yes.
And we were like slow-mo, okay? So
Yeah.
it looked a little bit like this. I'm pretty sure it looked just like this.
Quarterback throws the interception, and ready? I think it was way cooler in the moment. I think they just would have had to be there.
Probably.
You know, it's fine. But hey, how do you know how to be a friend? How do you know how to be a friend, right? You know, we were created to live in community with one another. We were wired for friendship.
Yeah.
We were wired to be connected with one another. It's a God-given thing.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 27:17 says this, is iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. So how do you be a friend?
Mm-hmm.
You know, first, a friend knows how to love. A friend knows how to love.
Yeah.
Proverbs 17:17, a friend loves at all times. 1 Corinthians 13:4-7, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs.
Yeah.
Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. So something that my mom and dad have taught me since I was a little kid is to add my name to where love is. Brie is patient. Brie is kind. Brie does not envy. Brie does not boast.
That's good.
That's something that we need to be doing in our everyday lives. You know, can you say with your name right now, Abby is patient.
Yeah.
Caitlin is kind. Emily does not envy. Kirsten does not boast. Can you say your name in that? Because if you can say that you do all of those things, then you are loving well, because that is how the Bible instructs us to love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how else can you be a friend? How do you know how to be a friend?
A friend knows how to serve their friends.
Yeah.
So what would it look like if in your friendships, now hear me out, what would it look like if in your friendships, if rather than focusing in on what Brie did to annoy me or what she did to bother me or get under my skin a little bit, what if we focused in on how well we could serve one another? How would our friendship change? How would it look? How would it differ from whenever you're focusing in on the negative things of, oh, well, she did this that bothered me a week ago, rather, how well can I serve her today?
Yeah.
So Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Did you know that Jesus sent his disciples out in groups of 2? Why? Because we are better together.
Yeah,
we are
good.
created to be in unity together and to go out together. Do you know how you can serve your friends? You may ask Abby, like, that sounds great, but like, how can I do that? How can I serve my friends? God, whenever He created us, God gave us all unique talents and giftings. And some of you may be artistic, some of you may be amazing singers, dancers, you may be an amazing athlete, you may be a genuinely nice human being to be around. What if maybe God gave you those talents and giftings not for yourself, but to serve your friends, to serve the people around you?
Yeah.
So how are you using your gifts and your talents that God gave you to serve your friends today?
Yeah. Yeah, another thing is friends know how to celebrate one each other. They know how to hype each other up.
Yeah.
1 Peter 3:8-10 says, "Finally, all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing, because to this you were called so that you may inherit a blessing. For whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceitful speech." So something that me and Abby created was a but me friend. So what's a but me friend? A but me friend is always turning the spotlight back on themselves.
Yeah.
You know, if Abby is doing something, and let's say she just had a fashion show, right? And I'm like, oh, that's great, but did you see I just led worship? You know, if she just had a tennis match, and I'm like, but did you see what I just did when I was cheering? Like,
Yeah.
it's a but me friend, always putting the spotlight back on themselves. You know, I'm going to have accomplishments that are going to look a lot different than Abby.
Right.
And Abby's going to have accomplishments that look a lot different than the accomplishments that I have.
Yeah.
You know, but if I continue to put the spotlight back on me, I'm a but me friend. You know, if I cannot be invested in her accomplishments because I'm too busy trying to celebrate myself, then ultimately I have a selfish heart and I'm not being a good friend to Abby. You know, this goes the same thing with our everyday just hanging out lives. You know, Abby enjoys things that I don't enjoy, and there's things that I enjoy that Abby doesn't enjoy.
Right.
You know, she really likes to go hiking. And if I'm being real with you, nature just really isn't my thing. It depends on the day. But because she likes hiking, I'll go hiking with her because I understand that that's something that she likes to do.
Right.
But if I wasn't like that, I would be a but me friend saying, but I don't like hiking, so I think we should do what I want to do. That means that you're putting yourself in the center of your friendship instead of having Jesus in the center of your friendship.
Right.
And that's something that will need to change.
Yeah.
So how can you start today? How can you start hyping your friends up right now? You know, maybe your friend plays basketball or lacrosse or soccer or they cheer. You know, anything that they do. Maybe you show up to one of their games and you're the loudest fan in the stands and you're just hyping that up. Yeah, you go. Maybe you make a poster. Yeah. You know, maybe your friend's going to be submitting an entry into Fine Arts Festival this April. And you go, you either watch one of their live performances or you go see the picture they took or the poem they wrote, you know, whatever they did, and you just say, that was amazing. I'm so proud of you of using the gift that God has given you and trying to develop it more.
Yeah.
You know, Roy T. Bennett says this, jealousy is when you count someone else's blessings instead of counting your own. Jealousy is when you count someone else's blessings instead of your own.
That's good.
Right? If I'm too busy counting the things that I'm jealous of Abby for, the things that she does that I can't do, then I'm in the wrong there. I really am. So we need to start hyping each other up. We need to start celebrating each other. We need to start, you know, being there for the person and letting them have the spotlight and realizing that the spotlight will be on us another time, but for this moment, it's time to hype them up.
Yeah.
So how else can we be a good friend?
So lastly, Jesus knows how to be a friend.
Yeah.
So we should want to know how to be
That's right.
a good friend.
Yeah.
You know, like Brie is not the perfect example of how to be a friend.
Yeah.
Abby, I'm not the perfect example of how to be a friend. But Jesus walked on this earth to show us a perfect example of what a friend should
Yeah.
look like.
Yeah.
Jesus was a friend to believers and non-believers. And whenever he hung out with his non-believer friends, he went in with the mindset to step into their lives with a goal in mind to make a difference
Yeah.
in their life. We should hang out with people who do not know Christ.
Yeah.
We should.
Yep.
But we should have a mindset and a goal to be the influence and be the change to make a difference
Yeah.
in their life. We are always, constantly being influenced by the world around us.
Yep.
More than ever
Yeah.
before. Today, we are always being influenced by what we see on social media, by what we watch on TV, by what we listen to in our AirPods, by who we hang around. Like, always being influenced by who or what is around us.
Yeah.
And if we do not have a goal or a mindset to be the difference and to be the influence as Jesus followers, then we can quickly be influenced and dragged down
Yeah.
by what is around us. Proverbs 22:24-25 says, "Don't make friends with anyone who has a bad temper. You might turn out like them and get caught in a trap."
Yeah.
Now, if you just read that verse, it may sound like, this friend's a little negative. Let me just step away, step out of their life forever, you know? And maybe I'll just have the positive, happy friendships only. And I really believe that there are times where you hang around people who are negative, and you hang around girls, we're all girls, and you hang around girls that gossip. And have you ever noticed that maybe whenever you go home from hanging out with them that you may be a little negative, or you may want to talk bad about people because that's what they were doing? I think that it is wise to be very cautious when going to hang out with those friends, that you have a goal in mind, that you are the influence. For example, if I were to stand up in this chair right now and Brie were standing on the floor, would it be easier for her to pull me down to the floor, or would it be easier for me to pull her up into the chair with me?
Hint, I'd be able to pull her down.
For sure. And it's easy to apply that, because is it easier if I did not have a goal in mind of, I'm bringing Brie up to my level right now, I'm about to pull her up and lift her up. If I didn't have that in mind and I just stood up in the chair, I would easily and very quickly get pulled down to her level.
Yep.
So yes, we are called to be friends with our church friends, the believers, but we are also called to be friends with non-believers. Your friendships, you should be able to have friendships that you are being discipled and you are being influenced, and iron sharpens iron. So you should have people that are pouring into you, but you should also have people like, who are you pouring into in your life? Who are you discipling in your friendships? And why should we be friends with non-believers? Well, we are sinners who struggle with sin. But I just want to encourage you guys to ask the Holy Spirit to guide you in those friendships. Pray over your friendships. Pray that the Holy Spirit will guide you in ministering to all of your friendships, especially those who do not know Jesus, that you will be the one to be able to step into their life like Jesus did, that you will be the one to be able to step into their life and make a difference and make a change, and not justify or participate in sin, but be able to step into their life and make the difference.
Yeah. There's something that my mom taught me as a kid, and there's friends that are just as spiritual than you. You have friends that are more spiritual than you, and you have friends that are less spiritual than you. And while it's okay to be friends with all of those friends, you have to make sure that you aren't being pulled down to the level of your less spiritual friends. If you hang out with those people more, you're gonna be pulled down. Peer pressure is a very real thing.
Is. Yeah.
Teen girls, you're gonna experience it every single day. It's just something that you live with, right? But if you're hanging out with friends that are just as spiritual as you and more spiritual than you, and they're bringing you up to their level, they're pouring into you, then that's good, right? But it's also your job, just like Abby said, to be mentoring those people. While you're being brought up by those friends that are more spiritual than you, you should be bringing those friends that are less right up with you. You should be pouring into their lives as well.
Yeah.
So today we're going to go into some discussion questions. Yeah. And whether you're at home and you're still in your jammies, or you're at church and you're with some of your friends from church, we just have 2 questions for you guys, just to consider for a little bit. And it's this: what friend or friends in your life are discipling you? And what friend or friends in your life are you discipling? The second question: what is an area that you personally want to improve on in your friendships? When we were speaking, maybe something stood out to you. Maybe you're like, wow, I'm one of those but me friends. Or maybe you thought, I want to learn how to use my talents, my gifts that God has given me to serve others. Yeah. Or maybe you're like, you know what, there's times when I'm not the kindest friend. Whatever that is that maybe God was speaking to your heart while we were talking. Just a time for you to pray, to seek Him, ask Him to help you. And also, if you're with a group of people, this might be the time for you to be vulnerable with them. To say, I want you to keep me accountable. I want to be better at this. Yeah. So we're just going to give you guys a couple minutes to get into your small groups, to talk, to pray together. Yeah. And we just want to encourage you, live your day, live your life every day to be just like Jesus, right? And also, when you're in your friendships, when you're with people, try to be the best friend that you can be with keeping Jesus at the center.
Yeah. And hey, our hope and our prayer in this is that you will have friendships that will thrive.
Yeah.
Like, that is our goal and our prayer and our hope, is that you will have friendships that you will be able to have centered around Jesus, and that you will have friendships that you will be able to pour into and that will thrive in Jesus' name. So we love you guys, and we hope that you had an awesome time at Teen Girl Conference this year. Yeah. We love y'all. Peace out.